Good morning. It's a great joy and privilege for me to be with you this morning. I just want to thank you for opening up this church and thank you for having me here. It's always will be a privilege for me. Let me, in few words, just to share what you have seen. This is our ministry is called Exciting Word Outreach. It started 25 years ago. In 1998, it started with a group of young Bible college students going to house outreach, and it is spread into different states. Today we have 7 states of northern India. We have 187 full-time missionaries and thousands of house church leaders who are leading these house churches. And also, let me share that we have a training center. The new believers will be trained to lead the house churches. Because most of the time, especially in these days, outsiders cannot go into villages and reach the unreached people. So you have to be someone from their own village and need to go. That will be much more safer for them. So we are trying to train up all these young men and women. They can be from all the walks of life, but they have to be a member of the church and they have to be baptized and they need to be accountable to the house church. And those people, we will be training them, sending back to their own village to take the gospel to their own people groups. So every year we train up. This year we have 648 men and women going through that training program in 19 different training centers. This training is 1 day a week from 9 o'clock from morning to the 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We will be serving them a cup of tea in the morning when they come to the training. Then we will be serving them on a simple lunch. Then 4 o'clock before they leave the place, we will be serving them another cup of tea. Then teachers from other places will be coming and teaching them and the basic doctrines of the Bible. We don't teach much of a theology or anything. The practical Christianity and the basic of their faith, just like what is the meaning of baptism, who can take baptism, who can give baptism, and all those basic things that we will be teaching them, and they need to teach that to the house churches. And the Lord has enabled us to start more than 12,000 prayer groups and house churches in the unreached villages of North India. And I have some newsletters we send out, and a newsletter every month. Last couple of months, maybe more than 6 months, because of some legal issues, we were not sending it. As soon as that legal issue is solved, we will be sending it. I have 5 of the newsletter that we have not sent it, that over there. From January to maybe June or something, one is missing. It is there. If anybody want to take them, you can take that, and read it. And if anybody wanted to receive that newsletter in the future, there is a signing paper is there. You can put your email or WhatsApp number or maybe mailing address, snail mail or whatever it may be. We will be more than happy to send it. This morning, I just want to focus on God's Word rather than going into the ministry. So I just want to read a passage, one of the familiar passage from the book of Luke chapter 5. The Gospel according to Luke chapter 5, the incident that is recorded from verse 1 to 11. But I just only because we all know this passage very well, so I just want to read only one verse, that is verse 4. Now when he had left speaking, he said to Simon, "Launch out into deep and let down your net for a catch." When Jesus was in this world, when he started his public ministry, he was going one place to another place and he was preaching. There are a lot of people came to hear him. Bible says there was crowd, there was large crowd, then there was multitude, then Bible says there was a great multitude. So all kinds of people were there just listening to what Jesus was saying. He was preaching and teaching, and by his words, by his preaching, by his teaching, people's hearts were touched and transformed. By his preaching, people's life has been transformed. By his preaching, people were amazed to hear what he was saying. By his preaching, the way he was, with all authority he was preaching, they were wondering from where he got this authority. While he was preaching, the changes came to their life, and then by his preaching, people were drawn to God. And I just want to share this. By our preaching, how people respond. I'm not talking about preachers. I'm not talking about every one of those who believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, who accepted him as a personal Savior, according to his word, who took baptism, and who is fellowshipping with one another, fellowshipping in the church, and who, trust in the Lord and walk with him. And every one of them is supposed to be sharing. Bible says, you have freely received it, so you have to freely give. If you don't give what you receive, then again Bible says, give and it shall be given to you. What you received, if you are not giving it, you are not going to receive again. So, as a true follower of Christ, as a true believer of Christ, every one of us are responsible to give it out what we are received. But when you share and me share, the word that we speak, the gospel, let me come to this, the gospel that you and me preach, have power to transform the life of the people and the power to change the characters of the people and can change the mindset of the people, even change their thinking. It has power. That's the reason we are here today. If the gospel has not changed you and me, we won't be sitting in this place. It has changed you. It has changed me. And it can change the people around us. It has the power to change the people around us. But that is not the point this morning I just want to make. Here is the story. Jesus, chapter 5, verse 1 says, "It came to pass that the people pressed upon him." A large crowd came to hear what Jesus has to say. There was, when a large crowd comes, there was pushing in Maybe here in America it is not like that, but in India, always people will be pushing and things like that. They would, because there is a large number of crowd. So I think Bible also saying that they were pressing upon one another. Somehow they want to reach Jesus. They want to hear him what he wants to say to them. So when it was, going on, then Jesus thought, okay, how can I be helpful to them? So he just saw two boats were there, and he went and sat on one, then asked the owner of the boat, Simon, to take little further away from the shore, and so that he can face everyone, and he can share with them so everyone can see them, so people won't push around, so they can. And he was teaching them. Then what did he teach? The Bible does not explain. Then the Bible all of a sudden go to another incident. And it says, and he entered one of the ships, which was Simon's, and he prayed that he would thrust out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people out of the ship. Now, when he had left speaking, now he had stopped speaking. And he faced Simon and told him, why don't you take this boat into deeper? He was speaking to the people more like in the shallow water. But at the same time, he was turning to Peter or Simon and telling him, take this boat into deeper. And I know most of us who are sitting here have a heart to have a deeper walk with the Lord, a deeper relationship with the Lord. And at the same time, the Lord have a desire in his heart to have a deeper relationship with you and me. When we want to have this deeper relationship, we need to go deeper into it. We cannot be in the shallow water. The shallow water represents a selfish nature of the humankind. Selfish nature. They want to be in the water, but at the same time, they want to be in their comfortable zone. They do not want to go venture into deeper, but they want to be in there, close to the shore. They do not want to deeper. But God is asking Simon to go into deeper. This morning, I just want us to press on. When you and me go deeper into Jesus, what is going to be benefited in your life and my life? When we have a walk deep, it's in a relationship deeper with Jesus, or maybe when we walk with him, what benefits or what is going to affect our life and your life? When we walk deeper, when we go into deeper with Jesus, the experience that we will have will change us and transform us. There are so many Christians may not be happy with their Christian life. They are not satisfied. They were always searching for something else. They are not satisfied. The reason they are not satisfied is they do not have a deeper relationship. They are walking in the shallow waters. They do not want to go deeper into it. They are walking in the shallow waters, but Jesus is asking us to go into deeper. When we walk with him, when we go with him into a deeper relationship, that is where he is going to change us and he is going to transform us. Then, number 2, I just want to mention that when we go deeper with him, we will see the fulfillment of His promises. That's one of the things today believers are struggling mostly. I'm not saying that you are struggling or anything. I'm talking about India. Most believers are struggling in India. They receive promises from God, but many times they don't see the fulfillment of that promise in their life, in their family, or in their walk with the Lord. The reason they don't see that fulfillment in their life is because they are not willing to walk deeper with Jesus. When you go with Jesus into deeper, that's where your promises are going to be fulfilled in your life. Here we see that, Jesus is saying to Simon, go into deeper and you will have a catch. We all know the situation when Jesus was saying, the whole night they were working hard and they could not catch anything. The whole night they were in the shallow water. They were trying to do everything they can do. They were in the shallow water and they were not going into deeper. And the morning when they said, we failed, we could not do it, verse 5 it says, then Simon answering and said to him, Master, we have toiled all the night and have not taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word I will let down the net. The whole night they were working so hard. But then Jesus said, take the boat to the deeper. And he said, because of thy word, I will take. And he took the boat to the water deeper. And then he cast out his net. And there he saw the fulfillment of the promise that God has made to him. That is the same thing in your life and my life. If we want to see the promises that God has made to you and me, and to your families and my families, and to your children and my children, if you want to see the fulfillment of that, we need to go deeper with our relationship with Jesus. If we are still in the shallow waters, we won't be seeing that fulfillment in our life. But if you walk deeper, go with Jesus a little bit deeper, then you will see the fulfillment of that promises. The third thing I just want to say, when you go with Jesus into deeper, you will see the supernatural or beyond what you can do or what you can think. You will be able to do beyond your abilities. Let me share one of my own experience. When I was studying in the Bible college, my pastor who sent me to, and I want to go to a Bible college where Bible is taught in my native language. I want to go. But my pastor told me, no, God has not called you to go to southern part of India, but God has called you to minister in the northern part of India, so you will go to an English Bible college, English medium Bible college, so that you will be much more, able to learn and able to express or maybe share with the people. When he said that, I can read and write English a little bit. I do not know how many letters were in English alphabet. My pastor asked me, that was my first interview, how many letters are in English language? I said to him, 56. Because in my mother tongue, we have 56 letters. So I told him 56. I thought English will also have the same number of letters, so I told him 56 letters. Then he looked at me, he had a great disappointed look at me, and he said, I do not know what you are going to do in an English medium Bible college. But he sent me to an English medium Bible college. I went to the Bible college, the first chapel service. That evening we had a chapel service. I went to the chapel. There were almost 600 young men and women were studying in the Bible college. They were all sitting there. And fourth years, third years, second years, I am a fresh student there. And when I was a little bit late to go to the chapel. When I went to the chapel, they were all singing in English. Just like, they were rejoicing and singing in English. I just went to the sidewalk and went to the back side. All the way back and sit in the back chair there because I was feeling very uncomfortable. Then I just feel somehow I just want to escape from this Bible college. I don't want to be here. But there is no way to escape. So I tried. It was too hard when you do not know how to speak the English. And if you speak in any other language in that compound, they will fine you. They will fine you for every word. They will fine you 1 rupee. So in the beginning, because I came from my church, and the church people given me some money, offering and things like that. I had money in my pocket. So every day I was giving them the money because they were fining me 10 times, 15 times, not because I was speaking with the people in my native language. So I did give them money. So when my purse become or my pocket becomes so empty, I do not have any more money to give as a fine. So then they said in the afternoon after the lunch you can come out of the dining room, they will ask you, okay, you spoke this many times in your mother tongue. So you need to go and work in the field right there in the afternoon. It was almost maybe 100 or 105 Fahrenheit, temperature. So you need to go and work. Because if you want pay, you need to work. So I did it. It became a daily routine for me. So every afternoon, whether they call my name or not, I am ready to go to the field because I know my name will be there. And 4 months was passed. My first semester. We had 10 subjects. The passing mark was 60%. I only scored 28%. In other words, I failed in all my subjects. My teachers were disappointed. My friends were making fun of me. They were laughing at me. And I just want to run away from the Bible college. That was all. And I could not run away. So in the evening, I will go into, we have a big campus. There was, there is a lot of bushes around them. I will go and hide behind the bushes and I will cry out to the Lord, somehow help me to get out of this Bible college. That was my prayer. And it became quite desperate. One day I was crying out to the Lord, Lord, I don't want to be in this Bible college. I just want to go out of here. Take me, somehow take me. Even I was praying, Lord, make me sick so that they will send me back home. That was my prayer. Somehow I was praying. Then nearby another, there was other bushes were there. There was one of my senior student was there and he was praying there and he was disturbed by my cry and my prayer and he just, walked to me and he just came to me and asked me, what is your problem? And I said, I want to go home. And he said, why do you want to go home? I said, I do not want to stay in this Bible college. I do not want to study here. I can't understand anything. I can't speak. I can't learn. I just want to go. I am great disappointed. I am a failure here. I just want to go home. Then he just, looked at me and comforted. I was crying and he just comforted me. Then he opened the Bible and read me from book of James. The word is there, if anyone lack wisdom, let him ask of God. Then he looked at me and asked me, did you ask the Lord for wisdom? I said no. Then he just asked me, why don't you ask the Lord for wisdom? Why don't you pray? Ask the Lord. No, don't pray for running away from the Bible college. Instead, spend that time asking for wisdom. Wisdom. I said, okay, from here onwards, I will ask for wisdom. He then told me something practical. He said, you cannot speak, English because you are afraid that people will be laughing at you. But why don't you start to think in English? Nobody is going to hear it. Nobody is going to know what you are thinking and things like that. Why don't you think in English? So that evening I went, he prayed over me, and that evening I went, and after my meditation I was going to sleep, and then I tried to think in English. It was hard. It was more harder than even speaking in English. But I tried. The next day I tried it, and it went on. The next semester, the second semester, we had again 10 subjects. And I scored 84% from all the subjects. I passed all the subjects. I scored 84% in that. When the third semester came, I was the top student in our class. Today, what I speak here, I'm standing in front of you and speaking. This language that I learned is not with my ability. It is a God given to me. What I am, trying to say is, when that brother, he led me, asked me to walk with Jesus in a little deeper, that has helped me to learn. Today, the language that I speak, I would say that the supernatural way the Lord just given to me. It is not with my ability or anything. I travel into different countries and I spoke to different people. But it was all, the Lord given to me. What I am trying to say is that when you walk, try to have a deeper relationship with Jesus. That is where you are going to see the things that what you can do beyond your abilities, and things that you will be able to do beyond what you can think and imagine. So the deeper relationship with Jesus will enable you to experience greater things in your life. The fourth thing, I just want to read the word 6 here. Chapter 5, verse 6. When they had this done, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and that net break. And it says, the deeper you will, then verse 7 also it talks about, in the deeper when you go, you will be experiencing abundance in your life. The whole night they were working hard. They could not get even a single fish. But when they went deeper into that, there was an abundance of it. Even in your life and in my life, when we walk with Jesus into a deeper relationship, that's where you are going to see abundance of provisions in your life. You will see more than that what you wanted. There will be abundance. It says that they had a great catch. More than what they can contain it. More than they can handle it. More than they can, take care of it. When you walk in deeper relationship, that you will find that abundance in. Bible says, when you read Psalms 23, verse 5, my cup overflows. That's what David says, my cup overflows because of the relationship that he had with God. When you have a deeper relationship, your cup will be overflowing. When you walk with Jesus in a deeper relationship, and your cup will be overflowing. When you walk with Jesus and he gives according to not our needs, he gives according to his riches. When we walk deeper with Jesus, he gives us according to his riches. Then again, Bible says, he gives pressed, shaken well, running over. When you walk with Jesus within a deeper relationship, he gives you shaken well, pressed, and it running over. The deeper relationship will lead you to abundance in your life. Then verse 5, verse 7 it says, they beckoned unto their partners which were in the other ship, and they should came and help them, and they came and filled both the ships. So here again, when you walk deeper with Jesus, the deeper experience first will give you maturity, a spiritual maturity. When you are in a shallow water, you will not have a spiritual maturity. But when you go deeper with Jesus, that's where you are going to get a spiritual maturity. And also, it gives a deeper experience. When you walk deeper with Jesus, it will help you to have a generosity, asking others to come and take, because many times we may have, more, but that generosity you will not have. As long as you walk in that shallow water, you will not have that generosity. You will be thinking about yourself. You will be thinking about more like, yourself. When you walk deeper in relationship with Jesus, that is where the generosity comes to your heart. Just the other day I was telling the woman who was in the temple, who put too much in the offering box. There were others who were doing or giving an offering, putting an offering in the offering box. There were people who put maybe silver coin, maybe gold coin, maybe other valuable things in there. But Jesus looked at that woman and said, I tell you, she has put more than anyone else because of her generosity. That kind of generosity can only come when we walk deeper with Jesus. Look at the boy who was with 5 bread and 2 fishes. When Jesus asked, do you have anything in you, then the disciple went and found a boy with 5 bread and 2 fishes, and he was willing to give. If today, I'm not saying about the children here, if in our family, if we send, maybe let me talk about my own children. If I have 2 girls, they are grown up, but in their childhood, we were going into one place for a meeting. Then we had a flat tire. Our car had a flat tire, and I got down and I was trying to change my tire there. So I had a stepney in my car. So I was going to change it. I was, doing everything. Then my children, daughters were maybe 12, 30, oldest one maybe around 15, and the youngest one was maybe 11 years old. So they got out of the car and they were just walking around. Then there were some slum children were playing in the ground. They were, we have a lot of slums in India. So the poor children were playing in there. I was trying to loosen all the screw of my tires. Then these children got anxious about, okay, what I am doing. So they came there. And then, they were looking, and some of them helped me in changing my tires. And finally, we changed the tires. We were getting into the car. Then we had some bananas. We have some, some other food that we carried from our home on the way we are going to eat for the breakfast and things like that. And my daughter went and took all this food and handed over to these children. So, we got back into the car. I was quite happy. Me and my wife was just smiling because she even did not take permission from us to give it or not. But we were quite happy. We were smiling. And on the way, I stopped, asked her, what are we going to eat? Because we did not have the breakfast, what we are going to eat. And then my youngest daughter said to me, oh, every day we are eating breakfast. One day if we miss the breakfast, nothing is going to happen. What I'm trying to say is that me and my wife, loved to hear that from our children. We were so proud of our children. Because, that generosity, from where it is coming? It solely comes when we walk with a deeper relationship with Jesus. As a human being, that generosity will not come. We may have compassion, but compassion, with compassion we will be doing something. Generosity, much more, it is divine. It needs to come from the Lord. And only that is possible when we walk deeper with Jesus. Again, verse 9. Chapter 5, verse 9. Maybe I will read from verse 8. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O God." And when we walk with Jesus, that is where deeper relationship with Jesus, that is where we are going to find who we are. In the shallow waters, you won't be able to realize or who we are. But when we walk in deeper relationship, when we go out, take ourselves with Jesus into deeper water, that is where we are going to realize who really I am. And Peter, took Jesus into his boat, and he was sitting there, and he was, Jesus was preaching and everything, and nothing that led him to a transformation or a change in his life. But when he went into deeper with Jesus, when he saw all that was happened, then he realized, I'm a sinful man. Only the deeper relationship with Jesus will help us to realize who really we are. You may be remembering when Jacob was coming from his in-laws' house, going back to his family. On the way, he took all his wealth, family, everything across the Jordan. And he remained on the other side of the Jordan. That night, he was praying to the Lord. Lord, he was spending time with the Lord, alone. Then we see that an angel of the Lord came, and they were more like, talking. Then that talking got into, because Jacob was saying that, okay, unless you bless me, I am not going to leave you. Then the angel asked him, what is your name? He said, I'm Jacob. Means I'm a deceiver. The next moment, the angel said, from here onwards, you will be Israel. See, that night there was a deeper relationship. It was not an ordinary relationship. He took everything across the river, and his family, his wealth, everything across the river, and he remained to have a deeper relationship with Jesus, to God. He wanted to have a relationship. He wanted to have a communion with God. And there he admitted that I am a deceiver. I am Jacob. I am a deceiver. Then all of a sudden it has changed. His name has changed, and said, you from here onwards you will be known as Israel. That's only possible when we walk deeper with Jesus. Then again, when we walk with Jesus in deeper, verse 9 says, he was astonished, or he was amazed, he was excited. In Christian life, if you want to be excitement, the only place is to go have a deeper relationship with Jesus. People go after excitement in many other places. I don't want to explain all those things, to find some excitement. But for a true Christian, for a true believer, if you go into deeper relationship with Jesus, there you will find your excitement. Then again, verse 10 it says, so he was, and so was also James and John, the son of Zebedee, which are partners with Simon. And Jesus said unto Simon, fear not, from henceforth thou shalt catch men. When you have a deeper relationship, that's where you are going to find your calling. In the shallow water, you won't be finding what is your call. But when you go into a deeper relationship, when you have a deeper walk with the Lord, that's where you are going to find what is your real calling. Here, Jesus said, from here onwards, maybe thus far you are catching fish, but from here onwards, you are going to find a purpose in your life. You are going to have a real calling, that is to catch men. And again, verse 11, when they had brought their ships to the land, they forsook all and followed them. And in deeper relationship, that's where you will be able to surrender your life for the will of God. Many people wanted to, in Christian life, they wanted to dedicate, or they want to surrender, they want to commit their life for the will of God, and many fail in that. The reason is that they don't have any deeper relationship. When you have a deeper relationship with God, that's where you are going to surrender. You are going to lay down everything in the feet of Jesus and say, Lord, it's yours. Everything is yours. It's not my will, it's your will. It's not my desire, it's your desire. It's not that I plan, but whatever is your plan. It's not that my purpose, but let your purpose. That's only possible when we have a deeper relationship with Jesus. This afternoon, I just wanted to encourage you, brothers and sisters, to walk with Him into a deeper relationship. That's where you are going to find all the treasures that God has in store for you. When you walk with God in a deeper relationship, everything that God has promised in your life, in His words, will come to pass in your life. As a church, I just want to encourage you, as a person, personally, just have a deeper relationship with Jesus. We lived a long life in the shallow water. It is time for us to go a little deeper. If we are willing, as this morning I was going from one translation to another translation and another translation to make sure and read whether Jesus, when Jesus was asking Peter to go into deeper water, before that, Jesus left the boat or not? Asking Peter to go into deeper water, and then Jesus was standing in the shore or not. But I could not find anywhere saying that. That means Jesus was with Peter in that boat. When they took their boat into deeper, He was with them. If that is so, when you and me take a step to go deeper relation, and the Lord will be there. He's not going to leave us alone. He's going to stand right with us. Let's have a deeper relationship with Jesus. Take a step further from the shallow water. I know sometimes it will be frightening. Sometimes there will be thinking about the uncertainties in the deep water, maybe the dangers in the deep water. All those things will come. But even the waves will come, even the wind will blow, and maybe the level of water will be covering maybe you. But we need to remember, the one who asked you to take this boat into deeper, He is in the boat. He is in the boat. When He is in the boat, He can calm any storm that rises in the horizon. He can, make still all that wave that rises, maybe 50 feet above. Don't worry about it. He can ask them to be still. He can calm everything. So you do not want to be afraid of the consequence of walking deeper with Jesus, but just with a willing heart, if we can take that step, the Lord will honor us, and we will be experiencing greater spiritual life and greater fellowship, and the God's promises will be fulfilled in our life. May the Lord bless you with this word. Once again, I just want to thank you all for being here this morning, with the honor and respect and the love that you have shown to me, and that is greater than, I know it is not as a human being, you are showing it because you love the Lord, and because of that love. And I thank the Lord for each one of you, and we will be continually remembering you in your prayers, and also I just want to ask your prayers in our life and our ministries. May the Lord bless you.